Hello everyone, welcome to the session 16. So in today's session we are going to study about the companies in the cloud. So we have already discussed some of the examples on cloud, means which are the organizations who are on the cloud, like we have already discussed like Facebook, YouTube, emails. So these all are an example of cloud computing and how they are making the use of cloud for providing the services to the public. So in today's session, we are also going to see some other organizations who are providing their cloud services to the users. And they are also using the cloud for their businesses. Companies in the cloud today. Now we are going to see which are the companies, those who are providing the cloud services. Now there are a lot of vendors who are providing their services through the cloud. There are also big organizations, there are also small organizations. Now everyone has gone on the online, and through the cloud they are providing their services to the user. Now due to this COVID situation, now everything has become online. They are using the latest technologies to implement these cloud services and to make available to the users. So the Google is very famous in providing their cloud services. One of the example is like Google Search. Google Search is very famous who provide the cloud services. Means whatever is stored on the Google, everything will be made available to the user according to their search. The cloud is certainly one of Google's biggest business ventures, and they offer a couple of tools to help draw customers to their cloud. And they have various applications which they have designed for the users, and through these applications the users can access their cloud services. One is Google App Engine, which is very famous. So Google App Engine enables developers to build their web applications on the same infrastructure that powers Google's own applications. So they are providing to develop their web applications through the Google App Engine. So this is the interface of the Google App Engine, where you can see a lot of products available to the users. You can see here how the sections are divided into different products. See, products are available into different sections. And here Compute Engine, again you have cloud storage. See, lot of facilities are made available through this Google app, and various types you can find out here. Features which they provide through this app are write code once and deploy. See, developers write the code and Google App Engine takes care of the rest. So they are providing the environment where it is useful for the developers to write the code and develop the application. Absorb and run in traffic. So Google App Engine makes it easier to scale from one user to 1 million of Google scalable infrastructure. That means it allows the scalability facility. Easily integrate with other Google services. Okay, if you want to use any other Google services, if you want to integrate with your application with some other application, even that facility is available. Developers using Google App Engine can make use of built-in components and Google's broader library of APIs that provide plug and play functionality. So while developing the application, whichever components they need, or whichever applications they need, or whichever plug-in facilities they need, so they can integrate their application with this all facility which they are providing. And in term of cost, so the Google entices developers by offering the app engine for free. So free quota to get started, 500 MB of free storage. Okay, some of the storage they are providing free for developing applications, and enough CPU and bandwidth for about 5 million page views per month. So they have some offerings also in that, and according to that the users use it. Google Web Toolkit. So they have their own Google Web Toolkit. So with this Web Toolkit, developers can develop and debug web applications in the familiar Java programming language. So one toolkit they are making available to the users where they can develop the applications in a Java programming language, deploy them and optimize JavaScript. They can also use JavaScript in that. So Good Health is one recently launched application to use Google Web Toolkit. So Google Health is an example of that, Google Web Toolkit, and it includes Java file language support so that the developers can enjoy using the full capabilities of the Java. Next is EMC, now Dell EMC, that is Egan Marino Corporation. So this organization is also providing the cloud services to the user and is the world leader in product services, solutions for information storage and management that help organizations extract value from the information. So this system allows customers with vast storage needs to easily manage, expand storage systems without interfering with day-to-day operations. So this organization is providing a vast storage to the users, and they can also expand their storage, and whatever they are storing, whatever the activities they are providing will be not interfered with each other operations, and all management will be taken care by the organization. So what they provide, this organization, is archiving, backup and recovery, enterprise content management, intelligent information management, IT management, duplication, security, storage, virtualization. So they are providing all these facilities to the user, and user can use it according to their needs. Next is NetApp. So NetApp organization creates storage and data management solutions for their customers. In 1992, they introduced the world's first network storage device. So this NetApp is also providing the storage facilities to the users and also the database facilities to the user. So NetApp claims they can cut your IT cost in half, use up to 80% less storage, hold off on data center expansion, and speed up your time to market. So when you compare this with the other cloud providers, they are providing the services in a less cost when you compare it with other providers, and you can say up to 80% less storage, and storage also they are providing, and speed also is good, and data center expansion. So load can be balanced from one server to another server, that is from one data center to another data center. So the company continues to introduce new technologies that reduce the cost of IT. So this organization is well known in reducing the cost of the services they are providing, some discounts, some offerings they are giving. So what are the offerings? We'll see some of the few. So NetApp was one of the first companies in the cloud offering data center consolidation and storage services as well as virtualization. So this was the first company in offering data center, many data center facilities, storage services and virtualization concept. So this product includes a platform operating system, storage services, storage security, software management and protection software. So these all facilities are there, they are offering. Cisco and NetApp are working together. So NetApp is tied with Cisco to certify the combined solution. Means they are working on some project. Combined means they are combined and bringing up some project, okay, some offerings to the users. And the companies will also collaborate on customer support and marketing activities. So together they are working and they are providing some services to the user by collaborating. So this is the interface of the NetApp, how it includes. So you can see here various options for the users it is providing. So you can see here solutions. This is specific for data storage. So like I say, every organizations have their own interfaces and all is organized systematically. So you can click on those and you can go for according to your needs. You can click there. You can also see here sports and training. You can how to buy. So all rules, regulations, all details they will be given on that. You can just visit and you can subscribe whatever you want. Next is Microsoft. Microsoft is also very famous, and the Microsoft services are very popular among the users. See, Microsoft offers a number of cloud services for organizations of any size, from enterprise to individuals. So these organization is very famous in offering their services to the big organizations, enterprises, and also to the general public or a single user. So we call their services like Azure Services Platform. So Azure Services Platform is a cloud computing and services platform hosted in Microsoft data centers. So we call them as Azure Platform Services. And this supplies a broad range of functionality to build applications to serve individuals or large enterprises and everyone in between. See, they offer everyone, individual or big organizations. They provide the services. And the platform offers a cloud computing operating system and developers tools. So that means these Azure services, they provide the software as a service, or that is applications as well as platform services to the users, and developer tools also. So they can be used individually or in conjunction with one another to build new applications or to enhance existing application. So software as a service applications also they are providing, and platform as a service application also they are providing. So this is how the interface of the Microsoft, and here, from here you can able to use their services. So see how properly they are arranged. See, you can see here so many services are there, and those are properly arranged according to the category wise, section wise. So you can visit there, and whichever service you want to use, you can go and access there. You can subscribe for that. So from Microsoft, we'll see some of the famous services of this Azure. So Windows Azure is a cloud-based operating system that enables the development, hosting, and service management environment to the Azure services. So Windows, okay, Windows is famous operating system, and this they are making available to many users, and they are also allowing the development through this Windows operating system, and also they are allowing hosting and other service management. So Windows Azure can be used to add web service capabilities to existing application. So if your existing application, it can allow to add some web services into that. It can build and modify your applications and then move on to the web. Okay, which are the applications you are developing, they allow you to modify and they'll allow you to use their services into your application. They allow you to make, test, debug, and distribute web services efficiently and expensively. And it also reduces the cost of IT management. Okay, and also it is budgetable and affordable for enterprises as well as individuals. Next is SQL services. So Microsoft SQL services are also very popular among the users, and they provide, there are so many SQL services, different types of versions are available. So they are providing all these versions on the cloud so that the users can use it. Okay, this allows the storage of structured queries. Okay, it also allows you to create the queries on their platform, and delivers a set of integrated services that allow queries, searching, reporting, analytics, integration, and synchronization of data. So these all facilities they allow through these services. So this can be done by mobile users as well as remote offices as well as business partners. So anyone can use this. They can integrate their application, they can use queries, they can do queries, searching, reporting, analytics through their own devices. Next is .NET services. So Microsoft .NET services are also very popular, like their .NET services. .NET services are mostly used for developing the applications like Microsoft VB.NET, Microsoft C Sharp, and developer-oriented services that provide the components required by many cloud-based and cloudware applications. So they are providing these .NET services through the cloud. So whichever user needs, whoever wants to use the cloud services, .NET applications, C Sharp, or any testing applications, they can use these .NET services through the Microsoft cloud providers. Okay, if they want to use some framework, they are also providing the framework, providing high-level class libraries that make a development much more robust. Next is Windows Live. So Windows Live is also very famous. Okay, it includes experiences for Photo sharing, see Windows Live is best for photo sharing, email, instant messaging, as well as integration with multiple third-party sites. So some of the highlights of these Windows Lives are, see, Windows Lives provide social features available to all customers. Like what are the social features? Like web, photo sharing, online storage from 5 GB to 25 GB. So Windows Live provide 5 GB to 25 GB of storage, online storage for sharing the photos or any network activities. Windows Live Messenger. Okay, they also have the Live Messenger, which is more personalization, and you can include in that the contacts across the web and drag and drop photo sharing. See, that facility is available in this. Just drag and drop it, and then it will be shared through the Windows, and it is online, so many contacts you can access from here, and you can communicate with any contacts here. Windows Live Hotmail was recently upgraded and is now faster effective spam filtering. So it is a spam filtering. Upcoming changes include the ability to bring multiple email accounts together. See, multiple. So suppose if you have more than one email accounts and you want all this account at one place. So even that can be done. The ability to put multiple email addresses onto almost any device, increase storage. So upcoming changes they are going to include in that. And Windows Live groups. Okay, how we have the groups on the WhatsApp and we share many things in these groups. So same, a place for groups to collaborate online includes a shared calendar, shared storage, okay, shared email addresses and shared instant messages. So when you want to communicate, when you want to discuss on anything, when you want to conduct a group meeting and all, okay, this you can use this for your working and all. Okay, when it can be the organization meeting or your own personal meeting, you can make use of these all applications which are provided by the Microsoft Windows. Next is Exchange Online. So Microsoft Exchange Online, this is also very famous service, and in a detail we are also going to see in the further parts of the topics. Is a Microsoft hosted enterprise. So this is specifically designed for hosted enterprise and messaging service based on Exchange Server 2007. So it is specifically designed for hosting the service. Means it allows the users to host their applications through this Exchange Online. So because it is a cloud service, you and your employees can access messages from anywhere. Exchange Online servers are geographically spread. These services aimed at management duties by removing your need to deploy, configure, monitor, and upgrade on-site email solution. So these all facilities this Microsoft Exchange is providing. In detail, we are going to see in the later topics. Next is SharePoint services. This is also very famous. Later on, again in detail, we are going to see about this. For time being, we understand that it provides communities for team collaboration and make it easy for users to work together on document tasks, events, contacts, and other information. So SharePoint, see by the name only you'll understand SharePoint, this specifically is designed for sharing. Okay, when many organizations are collaborating and they're working jointly on any project, they want to share any documents. So whatever the sharing is there, so this is the best for working together, collaboration for sharing. So SharePoint sites are places where teams can participate in discussion. So conference discussions can be also conducted here. And team collaborative content like documents, lists, events can be read and edited with Microsoft Office Word. So even editing facility is also available with Microsoft Office. Picture editing is also possible through these services. Next famous cloud is Amazon. This is also very famous and lot of various cloud services you can find out here, and these are divided into different types. See, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon Simple Database, Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Simple Queue Service. See, Amazon is divided into various cloud services, and this provides the different types of cloud facilities resources to the user. So this is the interface of the Amazon, and you can see here so many features they are providing. So whichever features are you need, whichever you need, okay, whether you need the storage, whether you need the storage or whether you need the database services, you can select from here. And also there is a backups, restore, blockchain, cloud migration, content delivery. So even these all facilities they are providing. So first we'll see what is a Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. So it is also called as Amazon EC2. So this is specifically designed for compute cloud. In later we are going to study about this in detail. So compute cloud is nothing but it is providing one environment for the developers to design their own applications. So it is providing resizable computing facility in the cloud which is designed to make web scaling easier. Okay, also the scaling is made easier here. So it allows you control of your computing resources. So it allows the user to control the resources because they are developing their applications. So it cuts the time it takes to obtain and boot the new server instance to a few minutes, allowing you to change scale as your needs change. So that facility they are applying. Okay, according to your needs, you can make the changes in that. And EC2 allows you to run Windows-based applications on Amazon Cloud Computing Platform. Next is Amazon Simple Database. So Amazon has its own database software. We call it as Amazon Simple Database. For database services, Amazon offers its Amazon Simple Database. So for whichever the user need database services, they are providing this. So it provides database functions of indexing and querying, whatever the database functions are. These all are provided by this. This provides the ability to store, process and query sets in the cloud. Okay. So these all are available on the cloud. It automatically indexes data, provides a simple storage and access. It makes the process easier to manage and eliminate administrative burden of data modeling, index, maintenance and performance. As they are making this available on online, so all management, all monitoring will be done at the maintenance team. So you have to only store, process and query the data using the Amazon platform. Next is Amazon Simple Storage Service. From the name only you'll understand, this is a storage facility provided to the user. So storage solution for the internet. So it is designed to make web scale computing easier for the developers, as well as utilize a simple web services interface that can be used to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. So it gives developers access to the same data storage infrastructure that Amazon uses to run its own retail enterprise. So it is giving you the storage where you can store all your resources, all softwares you can store, all applications you can store, and you can use it for developing your applications. Next is Amazon CloudFront. So Amazon CloudFront is a web service for content delivery. So it is specifically designed for content delivery and web services to give developers and businesses an easy way to distribute content to clients. So how easy you can distribute the contents to the clouds. So the clients can understand, they can retrieve the information properly and they get what they want. Amazon Simple Queue Service. We also call it as Amazon SQS. Okay, offers, so this is famous for scalable hosted queue for storing messages as they travel between computers. So whenever your data is moving from one computer to another computer, it stores this. Allows an automated workflow to be created and works closely with Amazon EC2 and other Amazon web services. So it also works with other Amazon services. So next organization which is famous for providing cloud services is Salesforce.com. So Salesforce.com made its name with the success of its flagship Salesforce.com automation application. So with this it has made its name. So today it has three primary areas of focus. Okay, it is divided into Sales Cloud, Service Cloud and your own cloud, you can say. So the popular cloud computing sales application, okay, it is specifically designed for the organizations who want to increase their sales and all. Services, as those who want to, the platform for customer service that lets companies tap into the power of customer conversation no matter where they take place. So whoever wants to give their services to the customer, then all those comes under the Service Cloud. Your cloud, powerful capabilities to develop custom applications on its cloud computing platform, Force.com. So Force.com is a computing platform which is made available to the developers so that they can use the resources which they want in developing the application. The companies has made its platform available to other companies as a place to build and deploy their software services. So Force.com offers a relational database they also offer the user interface options and business logic they also offer Apex, an integrated development environment, workflow and approval engines, programmable interface, automatic mobile device deployment, web services, integration, reporting and analysis. So these are all facilities they provide to their users, their customers. And also the other various services of Salesforce.com are Force.com. Okay, various services you can find out here. Visualforce. So Visualforce is with integration and all, how you can integrate the applications with other applications. So that it focuses. Salesforce.com CRM. So in managing and in customer relationship modules, how to manage this. That it is focused. And AppExchange in communication, in sharing, how these Salesforce.com cloud services provides the user. So these all facilities are divided into Force.com, Visualforce, Salesforce.com and AppExchange. Next is IBM. IBM is also very famous in providing the cloud services, and it is specifically to help businesses of all sizes. So it offers secure services to companies in public, private and hybrid cloud models. So more focus will be on providing public, private and hybrid clouds to the companies. Some of the features include industry-specific business consulting services for cloud computing. So they also provide their consulting services for cloud computing, and technology consulting, design and implementation services. So it offers services to help clients to install, configure and deliver cloud computing inside the data center. So the services which are provided by IBM are consulting services for building and integrating clouds, and to help companies to find most effective, balance and manage it as one integrated cloud. It helps in creating roadmaps for reconstructing their IT environment. It also helps in expert level skills, methods, guidance and project management techniques to help. Okay, this is overall for all, okay, for configuring, testing the server, storage, technologies necessary to support a dynamic technology environment. So building, integrating clouds and constructing roadmaps and balancing everything, guidance, project, storage, server. So they are providing services in these all fields. So IBM is also giving their security services to the cloud providers. So whoever are providing cloud services, IBM is giving them security services. So simplified security management offering enterprise customers the same security guarantees as just traditional computing and environments. So for various organizations, those who are providing the cloud services, for them this IBM is giving the security services. So we have completed which are the companies in cloud and what types of services they are providing. Thank you.